This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Is APP, which I took right before this.
APP?
Yeah.
An app?
Aunt Peggy's Parlor.
Yeah, but what's an APP?
I took APP before this.
What's APP?
What?
Oh,
I
you
did.
took a
I took APP.
It's called Chillin' with Your Auntie. It's definitely not that one. I will say, Parlor rules. I want the donkey.
Where do you think the water's coming from?
I don't know. The toilet. Cheers.
Cheers! No one.
Bring it to the parlor. We're gonna like it. Welcome.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how I've started any of the pods. So, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the parlor. This is Aunt Peggy's Parlor. I got my good buddy, Rob Cruz, and of course, my handyman, Neil. I've never said that before.
Handyman?
I like that it's a
Hey, y'all.
parlors where ice cream or hand jobs happen.
Or funerals.
Or funerals.
That's
There's
why
funeral parlors?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Funeral. Like a lot of funeral parlors are funeral parlors, not
Really?
funeral homes. Yeah. So he actually, Neil, because we were talking about calling it Aunt Peggy's house, and I was like, that's too close to my mom's house. Like, and I love that podcast too much that I'm like, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
So we literally did like word association, the two of us.
Beautiful. You were hunting for synonyms.
Yeah. And then he said parlor, and I was like, well, we got to do it.
Beautiful.
How do you not?
No, I like that. And it's like some alliteration.
Yeah. And also,
parlor.
I like the idea of like, if we had parlor rules, like it's like in the parlor, we drink whiskey. Oh, that sounds like whiskey ginger. But
I mean, nothing is completely new.
no,
Nothing is
not
completely
even
new.
you. You
No.
were your parents.
No, I'm just fucking generations of cum.
Well, cheers. We have Coronas.
Yes.
This week
In
we're
an
brought
island state of mind.
we're
I also
brought
like
to you
the,
by
The acronym is APP, which I took right before this.
APP,
Yeah.
an app.
Aunt Peggy's Parlor.
Yeah, but what's an
App.
APP?
I took APP before this.
What's APP?
What?
Oh,
I
you
did.
took a pee.
I took APP.
I thought a PP was like a drug that I
It
didn't
could
know
be.
of. Like it was like an ADD.
Phenoxyl, like something like that's.
And knowing you, I was like, oh, he took his ADD medicine or something. Like, I don't know. You're
No,
like
I do
depression
wanna- I
medicine.
do want to get back on those. I like cut it cold turkey. Fucked me up. I was
Of
on it
course.
for like it was Adderall. Like it wasn't even like a crazy dose. It was like 10 milligrams, but I was taking it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I just cut it cold turkey, and then like my
You got the
brain
shakes?
fried. What?
I said you got the shakes. Oh, your
Yeah.
brain fried.
Yeah, it kind of felt like in like Spaceballs when they went to hyperspeed and they hit the brakes, and the dude just fucking hit. His head went through the wall. That's what it felt like.
That, yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. But you
Yeah.
actually had ADD because when I take Ritalin, I'm just doing cocaine. Like every time
Yeah,
I've ever
yeah.
done Ritalin or Adderall, I'm like, who's going to a party? Like it's a Tuesday. We're supposed to write a paper.
Yeah.
Literally in college, I would take them with my friends, and 5 a.m, I'm painting. I somehow had paint in my apartment. I'm painting, ripping stuff down, and my roommate wakes up and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Someone gave me Adderall. I wrote my paper. I wrote my final thing, whatever, and now I'm doing the wall." And she's like, "Well, I also have a final tomorrow, so can you not?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"What time is it?" She's like, 5 a.m. I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, this does not."
Yeah.
That's how I learned I probably don't have ADD.
Yeah, because like it's like a surplus of attention instead of being like where you should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I kind of felt like a version of that. I had to be like pretty careful of like how I caught the wave,
Yeah.
because like if I'm doing the wrong thing when it hits, I'm doing that.
What a Jersey thing to say. I'm a
Call-
Jersey
catch
boy.
the
Yeah,
wave.
I catched a wave.
Sometimes you hang 10 wrong.
Yeah. Do you know I used to have a podcast with Cody Wright? It's because we used to catch the wave together.
That dude is the wave.
He is the
Cody
wave.
is the wave.
Wait, I'm roasting Jeff Kalela, another great Philly comic, on
Yes.
Thursday. I hate roasting, but James was like, you were called out. So if you don't do it, you're going to be a little bitch. And it was the second time James has said this to me. And I was like, fine, I'll
Moss?
do Jeff. Yeah, Moss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little rat boy, James. I texted Cody like, hey, give me any, and he's just been sending me like deep cut stuff about, I'm like, I don't know if this will even work for a roast.
Yeah.
If it's random people, they're not going to know that like what he was in high school, but I love
True.
the information.
The information is nice. You could set it up in a way.
Yeah.
Then make the joke a little educational first, and then you hit him with the "you're gay."
True.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like, I think it's just going to be
Yes.
you're a Neanderthal. If I can say the word properly.
That Neanderthal.
Is it really that?
I don't know. I feel
Is
like
that
that's
real?
the Queen's English.
I feel like the only reason I'm saying that is I listened to fucking Armchair Expert and Dax says it like that. And that is like the only time he annoys me. Is I'm
Yes.
like, no one says it like that. Also,
Yes.
when I got my 23andMe back, I have a high percentage of Neanderthal.
Really?
Like 90% higher than most people. That doesn't mean you have 90%. It's like, it's probably only 2% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's like most humans are not that.
That's crazy because I thought we were all Neanderthal. I thought we all stemmed from Neanderthal.
We're Homo sapiens. Can you please Google this so I don't sound like the
It's okay. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, I could also pull it up. But yeah, so there was two subsections of like Homo sapiens, right? My understanding, like of the homogeneous,
Yes,
and then
yes.
one being Neanderthal, and one being the Neanderthals were more tribal, and we basically all end up fucking, but.
So
And
Neanderthals
we killed
fucked
off the
other
Neanderthal.
squad.
We were
but
getting
like,
taller,
but
standing
they
up
were
straight.
like, they were completely like out. Like, I mean, not like literally. I have 90% more than most humans in the world, and I have like 2% Neanderthal in me.
Right.
And when I told Chance,
2% is 90% more than everyone else.
Is a lot.
yes,
Yeah.
like some people don't have it at all. Like
Yeah.
you completely got it fucked out. But I'm also 99% English and Irish. So I'm like, of course they went to an island and just kept fucking each other. And of course, some of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what the other tribe was?
So it's just under the homogeneous. It's just what was closer to us. Like
Oh,
it would
okay.
be, yeah.
Homo sapiens, right?
Homo
Homogeneous?
sapiens. Yeah.
Okay.
So the homo would be the genius over top, the umbrella over top,
Okay.
homo, and then underneath, all of us are homos. And then underneath, then you have more Neanderthal or Homo sapien,
Gotcha.
in my understanding. I'm not also.
I mean, technically, we're all Homo sapiens.
I'm sure I'll be corrected on the taxonomy of that, but
Yeah.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
I think you're doing
That was
great.
pretty good. That's more than
Honestly,
I know.
yeah, way more. Honestly, I was like, oh, cool. I have like a little bit of this because it's a 23andMe. They like give you these like emails or whatever, like of emails or what. You ever heard of an email? But like
Fuck.
I get like an email that'll be like, oh, do you want to hear your health thing? Do you want to do this? And like one of them was like, you are 90% higher in Neanderthal or Neanderthal. I hate this.
Please.
I told you I woke up from a nap an hour ago or sleep.
Yeah, no, I'm waking up too. We're getting there. But
We're getting there.
The Tully,
The Tully was
Irish
good.
whiskey.
The Irish whiskey.
That's
I'm really
unbelievable.
trying to get us sponsored by Tully.
I think it's possible. I think they want in on this because I think you are the
Neanderthal.
most Irish person I know.
Yeah. I'm 99% English Irish. And then when they like break it down to counties, it's like one county in England and the rest is lower Irish. But my family's been here for a long time. So that's really sad because I'm like definitely an inbred, basically.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw like a thing of like one of the most inbred families in America or something like that. And the article was like, please stop visiting them because they're barking at people. The inbred family, they bark at people.
Oh, but
when they
people
come
go
visit.
there?
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like they want to see Bigfoot kind of thing. Like they want to see one of the wonders of the woods.
So sad.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Wait, it reminds me of, do you remember, because you're Jersey, right? So you're South Jersey.
Yes.
I'm Delco. Did you ever hear of Midgetville? There was a thing called Midgetville, right?
In New Jersey?
It was, no, I think it was,
Florida.
I think it was right over the bridge of like the Commodore Barry
Commodore Barry.
Bridge. Yeah,
Okay.
I got it. Thank you. And yeah, it was right there. So like people would go, but it wasn't really.
It was just a town.
It was just a town that like had a weird thing.
They thought there was going to be a little store.
Yeah.
A
we
little
would
fire
go.
hydrants, a little
And
fire
then-
department.
And literally, when we were younger in like high school, we would go to Midgetville or Satanville, and it turns out they were just like weird alleys. Like there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
But people would go to this town all the time. That there was like an article written about it where it's like, please stop coming. There is no Midgetville. There is no. That was never a thing.
Yeah, we just have a Wawa and like that's it.
Yeah.
And everything is regular size. I
Wait,
swear
can
to
you
God.
please look it up? Because now I feel so dumb. Sorry, are you doing like other work? Oh, right.
This is New Jersey?
It's right over the bridge in PA.
Oh, in PA.
Midgetville, PA. Like it's a real look, yeah. Delaware. It is in Delaware County because it's right over the bridge. Yeah, it was like it's just like it's just a little like street. And for some reason,
to be fair, that is like a midget of town.
It does look like small little town, but I don't know why, or it became like, and then it became an urban legend. So it would be like, let's go there. And then like we would go somewhere else that we called Satanville, and we would just go to scare each other. Like, it's like, when you would like do Bloody Mary 3 times.
For sure.
I still won't do it.
Really?
Would you go in the bathroom right now, close the door and say Bloody Mary 3 times?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of fake stuff.
I do it every morning. Every morning when I wake up.
It's not fake if you believe it.
Whoa.
The deepest thing I've ever said ever.
So now we're talking about truths.
Yeah.
Personal truths.
Personal truth.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, do you still have like, were you like brought up Irish Catholic?
Yes, 100%.
Do you still believe in that dude?
I always say this. I think it's more fun to believe there's a God.
I think it's pretty sick.
Way more fun to say there's a heaven. I don't care for the hell part, obviously, because I'd go there. That was a dad joke.
Hell is kicked.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it's like, there's a part of me that I'm like, I hope my mom and my mom are like up dancing somewhere.
For sure. I feel like
but do I believe that there's like a God on a chair? No. And nor do I believe his son came down, because that sounds like Hercules. But I believe there was a prophet named Jesus who was like, hey guys, you're taking this way too literally. Please stop murdering each other. Don't slay your children. Like, love your neighbor.
Be righteous.
Yeah. The golden rule. I
Like
think that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever profited off of Jesus' cult, which was called The Way, by the way, they made the book pretty popular.
Yeah.
Because religion it's like the biggest.
It's fucking
business.
huge.
It's huge.
It's popping.
Did you ever hear about it? It's crazy.
Dude, I've heard about it. I've been on that tip. Yeah.
Were you raised?
I always wanted to be more into it. My parent, like I grew up like culturally Jewish.
Right. But
like,
is your mom?
Yeah, my mom's like Northeast Philly Jew, and then my dad was like Southern Catholic or Christian or something like that. But my dad, like he wasn't too into it. Their parents were more into it. Like I had a bris and I was baptized.
Mm-hmm. So you're saved.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. No, nothing you do.
Yeah.
Anytime you'll be fine.
Yes. Which is nice. I want to believe in it so bad. Like I'm not. I don't subscribe to like that's dumb. Yeah. But like something about it, I can't. Like it's not hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because I hate the thought of dying. That stinks.
It does.
I'm so pissed. I'm gonna die.
You're not gonna die. You're gonna live forever.
Thank you.
Especially if you keep drinking Tully.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah. The fact that it's just like the fact that I feel that there's nothing bites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, do you have guilt though? Because I think a lot of my Jewish friends have guilt, but you weren't raised.
Yeah.
With a lot of guilt.
A general guilt and insecurity.
Yeah, I will say. Can I say?
Yeah.
When we first met.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember when we first met, but we were fast friends, and I usually equate that to somebody, especially a guy who has a sister, and you do, who I love. And when I met you, you were living with her.
Yes.
And we would hang out a lot, and I would always be like, "This is a guy that, gets sensitivity, which usually I think because I'm so sensitive, I think it's a guilt thing, but maybe it's not. Like you can just be sensitive without having the baggage of the guilt.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I do have woman sensibilities.
Also, it helps that your eyes are always glossy, so it looks like you're ready to cry at any moment.
Yeah.
So it does make people feel safe. No.
I think that's a beautiful niche that not a lot of people are doing. Even though Kevin Spacey did just start a cast, I think.
Don't bring up my
he's been
favorite
doing
person.
podcasts.
I love Kevin Spacey.
I saw
told
the
you
doc,
this?
and some people I feel bad for. Some I'm like, that's on you.
Wait a minute. Yes.
Like the guy that like
100%.
blew him in his car.
Who kept going back?
Yeah, and he's like, and he didn't even read my script.
That's the thing. Like,
It's like,
I mean,
sorry.
it's crazy. Like, and I am always, listen, I have been in some touchy situations. I believe, and it's not a believe all women. I believe if you're like, this happened to me, I'm like 100%, 95% of the people I meet in the world are fucking creeps. Like, I get heckled on a daily basis and I do shows for 10 people. That's not like the percentage of shitty people is pretty high in my life, I think. Meaning like, I'm not saying Kevin Spacey didn't do all that. It wasn't a credible doc because the people were like, I kept going back because I wanted a career. And you're like, all right, now we're getting to a weird subject. Like you.
Right.
Also,
and
he 100% was molested. His Rod Stewart.
His
brother.
dad was a Nazi.
Yes. Like
if I was molested, my dad was a Nazi. It's like, yeah, if I see you on the red carpet, I'm going to grab you like a bowling ball. I'm sorry. Like, that's just what it is.
You're like, I look like a guy whose dad was a Nazi and he's Jewish.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Oh, shit.
It's like, how can you not see this coming?
No, it's
excuse me.
Really, okay, but I'll say this because I really went into it being like, because I love Kevin Spacey. Okay.
He's phenomenal.
So I'm going to say from a child, because I'm like, he's an average looking guy.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. But he's so charismatic. He's an amazing actor, like amazing.
Talent brings him up to a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just like loved him. Right.
Yeah.
And I went out one time with a group of people that there were some famous people, might have been Bill Murray.
Ooh.
And it was this weird restaurant where in the back of the restaurant, it was a club. And Kevin Spacey was there with like 5 beautiful like models. Okay.
Women.
Men.
Okay.
And I turned to Bill Murray because we were doing shots together. And
Flex.
I don't know if I can tell this. I'm going to tell it. Fuck it. Who's going to listen to this episode? Also, I have a video of him pouring a shot into my mouth. But I go, I really love Kevin Spacey. I love him. This is before everything came out. And he goes, I'll go say hi. But Bill Murray's obviously Bill Murray, right? So he goes up to him.
Yeah.
And he's obviously Kevin Spacey's cool with Bill Murray. And then he's like, this is my friend Peggy. And I'm like, I love you a lot. And the guy was like, okay, cool. Like Kevin was like, get the fuck off the dance floor. I'm hanging out with my hot friends. And then even when we walked away, Bill Murray was like, you didn't really like that, huh? I'm like, no, because you're Bill Murray and I'm Peggy O'Leary.
Yet you're not famous and you're a woman.
And also, so when it first came out that he was gay, I was like, of course, literally he was with 4 like the most beautiful men I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And they were dancing. Nothing was weird. They were obviously 21 or whatever. And then it all came out like a month or 2 later. And I believe that he might have did some touch and go shit.
For sure.
But that documentary, they didn't research hard enough if there's a really bad one. Okay. All of us might be able to not go out and, because I am not saying.
There were some where I was like, okay, no. Where like there was like a dude like in the theater in the UK, I forget what it was called, where like after the show he like straight up like put his finger up his ass or something like that.
That's crazy.
Like, hey, you can't do that.
No. And you're an asshole for doing that.
Right.
But the main person they kept going back to was like, and then he was going to read my script, like you said.
Yes.
And then he brought me to a holiday party. I'm like, what? You went to a holiday party with him or whatever it was?
Yeah.
No, it was.
I'm not celebrating any holidays with him. Not even Toyota-thon.
Even like
if I think you're trying to like, you know, like gay rape me.
If you're
It's like, yo, we can't
listen,
hang out.
even if you're gonna buy me a car, I'm not going. All right,
No.
I'm not going.
No.
No, no, it's not great, but it's also he does have a pod, and it's actually on Drop 10. So congrats, Neil.
It was crazy that he reached out, and we're just happy to have him.
Yeah, of course, man. That's a huge
I mean, it's a
get.
huge get. It's a huge get.
Yeah.
You and Tucker Carlson. That's it, right?
I know. It's
Yeah.
the only ones that we can get. Yeah, apparently it does have that. Well, the pod isn't probably from him, but it's just the Kevin Spacey trial unfiltered. Seems to be the only pod that comes up. Does he have?
Oh, yeah. I think, maybe he doesn't have his own, but he's been guesting on pods now.
Oh,
Yeah. And he was just on, the British dude, Piers Morgan.
okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
And, it seems like, and he was on Lex Friedman too. And, he's
Lex
pretty
Friedman?
bummed because he lost all his money.
Oh, that's what he talked about. Is that he's bummed because he lost all his
That was
money?
one of the clips I saw.
I mean, of course, that was probably a big one.
Yeah.
That he lost a lot of money.
He said he's like millions of dollars in debt. And he's like, get back in these movies, dude.
Yeah,
We do miss you a little bit.
I know. What is that about? But it's like Michael Jackson. Like there was like probably 2 years where he couldn't talk about it, or like, and
Yeah.
then he died, and everyone was like, "But the music's pretty good." Oh,
It's timeless.
Yes. Okay. So bringing up 90s stuff in my world, Michael Jackson, Kevin Spacey, and who I'm going to talk about, Whitney Houston, are 90s people to me because that's like my coming of age.
Mhm.
I just made Chance watch The Bodyguard. Have you ever seen it with Kevin Costner?
No.
So it is
90s movie?
It's 1992.
Okay.
It is very 1990s too. It's great. It's wonderful. Kevin Costner, fierce. He's the bodyguard. Obviously, Whitney wasn't. If you
Yes.
thought, but he actually got Whitney to be in it.
Nice.
Because it's about I think it's a remake of like an earlier like 1950s movie or something like that. But it's about like a superstar that doesn't really realize that she is being stalked and like people are out to get her. And Kevin Costner, ex Secret Service, comes in and really changes it up. And then she's mad at it, but then they fall in love.
Yeah.
And
Stop
it's-
protecting me. So
Yeah.
much.
Seriously. But
I
it's
can
like,
take care of
wait,
myself,
so
Mr. Man.
you know, so that song, her most famous song is like "I Will Always Love You." Is
Yeah.
actually a Dolly Parton song.
Yes.
So in the movie, they go on a date to like a country club, like not a country club, like a country bar.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Like a honky tonk kind of bar?
yeah, and they're dancing to it, and she's like, "I like the song," because like someone's singing a Dolly Parton song.
Yeah.
She's like, I really like this. And then in the end, she sings it. And she eventually
Oh, that's
made it
why she
famous.
did that song?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's from The Bodyguard.
It's from The Bodyguard.
That's crazy. I had
The
no idea.
Bodyguard soundtrack, better than the movie. It's so good. I mean,
Yeah,
Whitney
I mean-
Houston is I cried for a full day. when she died.
When she passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was devastated. Like,
She Dolly parted from Earth onto the other side.
also Dolly Parton's alive. So what do you mean she Dolly Partoned?
Yeah, because I will always love you.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But yeah, I
So
mean, Dolly
that
Parton's still alive and
isn't-
she still has the craziest hits in the world, which is
But
beautiful.
she paid for them and she talks about it and she's cool with them.
She earned them.
She earned them.
Yeah.
That's what she says. No, but so that's an Aunt Peggy wreck. You gotta watch the
Yeah.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, I'm
It's
down.
Perfect. It's
I-
like a perfect. It's like if a romantic comedy met
Like an action.
yes. I was gonna say like a Steven Seagal movie,
Yeah.
but I couldn't think of an actual Steven Seagal movie. But it's that.
Yeah, I know him more as like an idea. Like, yeah.
Do you have any of that, like your childhood, like music or films that you're like, everyone should watch this, even though they might hate it, but it definitely makes sense.
There's a movie that I feel like more people should see. It's called Monkey Bone. Do you know what it is?
I've seen Monkey Bone.
Not enough people have watched Monkey Bone.
It's a horror film, right?
No, it's well, like kind of, it's like gothic, like in some ways.
Oh.
Like it feels Tim Burton-y.
Okay.
Where
Monkey Bone, right away, I was thinking of Dunstan Checks In.
What?
You remember Dunstan Checks In?
No.
This is like a monkey runs a hotel.
A little monkey concierge. That's nice. I would pay for that.
Okay. Yeah. It's like,
Whoa.
you've never.
No.
This is actually right up your alley. Like, honestly, this is your personality come to life.
Yes.
It's a little boy and his chimpanzee.
This is before the machine combines them.
Yes.
Whoa.
To make you.
So that's his monkey friend.
It's his monkey friend, and they live in a hotel.
And
that's why
monkeys do
Dunstan
love
checks
polka
in.
dots. They always have
And I
polka
only
dots
know
going.
you're like, I only know that because I am part monkey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my 23andMe came back.
You're 2% chimpanzee. I'm 2% Neanderthal.
Yes.
Whoa, I don't remember that. Love
That's
scene.
like we just watched.
Yeah.
Wait, so let me see a video of, or not a video, but like a picture of monkeys. Bone.
Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone.
It's Brendan Fraser,
Mhm.
and he's a
How did I know?
cartoonist, and he has this cartoon called Monkey Bone, and yes, and he gets in like a fatal accident, and he's in like the in between world, and Monkey Bone is alive because Monkey Bone is his id basically,
I mean,
and he ends up stealing a pass to go back to the real world, but Monkey Bone steals it, and Monkey Bone is in Brendan Fraser's body now. And it's so good.
I mean, this sounds amazing. Honestly, double feature. Next time we hang out, we just watch
Please.
Dunstan and Monkey Bone.
Yes. And I've been trying to have like a movie / like show renaissance, because I've been like so tired of people being like, what, you didn't see that?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the people I podcast with are like
Dumb?
Shaner and them, like they're like older than me. Like, and we're like Shaner like graduated high school when I was like an amoeba.
Wait,
No, when I was in like 4th grade. So there, but like,
Wait, what
he's
year were you
still
born?
seen so 93.
shit. Oh yeah, so you.
So
you
there's so
baby.
much that like references that I just got insecure about not knowing. So I'm trying to see all the things. I just
Okay.
got done The Sopranos. That was banging.
So good.
Yes, so good. The ending took my breath away.
It's so funny because Chance, same thing. Like that's like how Chance and I like fell in love, I think, is the movies we liked, because all we do is watch movies together, and then like we pick apart it during it, after it, like we like say if we like it, whatever. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like, you got to watch The Bodyguard. I'm like, listen, I know what you're gonna think. It's not anything to write home about, but you'll understand me more.
Yeah.
And he was like, Dorian, he's like, I really like this. Also, he loves Yellowstone, so he loves Kevin Costner.
Yes.
But he was like, it really does make sense who you are. Like, because Whitney Houston's character is like so dramatic and over the top,
Yeah.
and her sister's kind of mean. And he's like, you've just become the woman from The Bodyguard.
That's great.
And I made him watch, like, yeah, I do think, yeah, there's like references. Like I never seen Malcolm in the Middle.
I just got done that one too.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's your age, because he's 95. So like that was
Yeah.
when you guys were like teenagers or like
Yeah.
pre-teens.
Yeah.
Whereas like I was going to college, I'm like, why the fuck would I watch a sitcom?
Yeah. And
I
you
was
think
getting
it
to
would be
film
like a
school,
kids
too.
show, but it is just a
It's-
good sitcom.
It's just a good sitcom. It's
Yeah.
like Modern Family, in my opinion.
Yes,
It's like just a good sitcom.
for sure.
But like when it came out, I was going to film school. So I was like,
Of course.
I do not watch stuff like that. Like I would have never said The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's why that
But
joke.
Malcolm in the Middle is kind of cool from a film perspective, because I think that's the first single cam sitcom, or like one of the first.
It is. And it's like, it's definitely like groundbreaking in a different way.
Yeah.
But I think the
But again, if you're in
advertisement,
film school,
well, you just wouldn't watch a sitcom. at all.
yeah.
Like, I would never. And then you're like, and then everybody like by their junior year is like, I like love TV. Like we grew up in the 90s. Of course we love TV. Like it's just how it is.
Yes.
All right. So Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone
How
is
about a
unbelievable.
musician? Because you are a musician.
Yes.
Do you identify more as a guitarist or a comedian? No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, I don't know. I really don't know.
Because you are like, when did we meet? Because I feel like when we first met, you were doing tons of comedy. Then you dipped out because you were like, no, I fucking love music.
Yeah.
Not like
like I was like, I want to like just make like videos or music or like whatever.
Yeah.
And then now like DuRag kind of like
brought me
back into it.
Yeah, now you're like the biggest comic in Philly. I couldn't believe I could get you.
So.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
you're a big get.
I think what really helps is that Drew and Naeem are crushing it. And then from that, like they go out and they're like the what's the word for it? Like the Mormons that go and spread the good word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
and I'm back in Utah. And I'm like, so how'd it go? And they're like, it went pretty good. Like some people know us. I'm like, good.
I like that. I like Drew.
Wait,
I like
so
Drew
you,
and the evangelist. Like the evangelizing.
Yes,
they're going out.
That's how it feels. Because also too, I'm way less social than them. They're way better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get nervous in places with a lot of people, which is like get in line a little bit. That doesn't make me special at all. But like I feel like they're way better at it than I am. And then when I am with a lot of people, I fucking black out. And then I'm like, that sucked. And I'm like, all right, well, I won't see anyone for another 6 months. But
no, I'm trying to remember, how did we meet? I think I did you and Cody's podcast.
I think that is how we met.
I don't think I knew you.
You and Foster came to my house in my parents' basement.
Yes.
Yeah, and did the podcast. Either that or like we did Lovable Monsters. Like I forget which came first.
Yeah, it was that. It was something like that. But
yeah.
But then we became fast friends. And it is funny because I'm like, I actually get mad at this. This is going to be like an Aunt Peggy. This is like an auntie thing. Is like, I think now I've been doing it for so long.
Also, do you mind filling me up?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I've been doing it for so long. And then I moved to Philly and I meet all these young kids that I'm like, I should quit. And I should just manage these boys. Like these boys are so much better than me. Like, no, but there is that part of me that I go, oh, I would rather like, for lack of a better word, foster these people's career. Still doing it, but like, I like being like, oh, this person's really great. And like, yeah.
No, I feel it. I mean, stand up like sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to why I like it. And it makes sense to why you're like, oh, wait, I have like so many other skills. I'm going to go do something else or do other things whereas I'm like, I'm only good at talking and I arguably am not that good at it. And like stand up, you need to like be good at words. That's hard for me.
Words are hard. the process
I also
of like
just realized Neil is in a sleeveless
it
top.
Guns out, dude.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize it.
He's a homeowner, goddamn it. He's gotta let the arms out.
I'm a homeowner. I've never let my arms out.
Homeowner.
Never let my arms out.
That's
actually
crazy. You guys have homes.
Drew did it last week and I had my arms out and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be like, Drew, if it doesn't come out, it's not because of you. It's because I have my arms out.
I feel it. I can't watch DuRag.
Oh, well, you guys are also
I'm like,
wearing DuRags.
Yeah, true.
You're doing a hate crime while
it's an act of passion. It's a crime of passion, if anything. It's a hate crime of passion. But yeah, stand up is like the very like love-hate with it.
Yeah.
I think like the hardest part is like to go back to it is like how like social of an art form it is.
Yeah.
Where
when it's not really. 'Cause
Right.
once you get to a certain point, it's not social at all. You're by yourself on the road.
Yes.
Which is like the weird thing for me was like, I actually got to a point where I was like starting to do road stuff. And I brought Ryan.
Yeah.
And I brought Ryan 100% because he's 6'5" and would beat anyone up if they touched me, because I am who I am. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you were
just,
Whitney Houston. He was Kevin Costner.
yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait to text Ryan that and be like, Ryan,
Yeah.
you were my bodyguard. But he was like,
Yeah.
he had to be. And so it's like that. It's like, if I didn't have him on the road, if I was just by myself and like, or somebody like that guy who ran that tour just gave me an opener, I'm like, how depressing would that be? It's like,
Yeah.
the amount of people I meet in comedy are,
Yeah. It's so like when they pick like an opener, you're so at the mercy
yeah.
of them. But then you do become so grateful when it's someone cool and good.
Mhm.
Like, I was on the road with Tim. I was featuring for Tim, but like the host would be local.
Yeah.
And
Tim Butterly.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cleveland, the opener was rough. Cool guy though. And then like St. Louis, it was both. He was good and cool, and it was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
But even when they're cool and good, if you're by yourself, it's not like, it's really not the same as like bringing out like a friend or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
Also, and you know what's so funny is like, when I started, people would tell you like, this headliner is this way. Don't go in the green room. I mean, like, I've gotten fired as a host from very famous. I'll just say it. Pauly Shore fired me.
No.
Yeah. And like, I literally had to host in Florida and be like, this is the Biodome margarita. Like, I had to like present the drinks. And then I got fired because I wasn't good. And then I found out it was just like a bunch of Florida guys were pissed off that a non-Florida person was the host. But it's very depressing that
Did you fly out to Florida just for that?
So yes and no. My parents were, it was like my dad was like first sick. They would go to Florida in February. So my dad was like out of the winter cold or whatever.
Mhm.
So it was like kind of like a twofer. My friend Lucas Connolly had started in Florida. And so he was like, oh, I think I could hook you up with like the improvs. So I got 2 weekends, one at West Palm and one at Tampa or whatever it was. And because Pauly Shore fired me after the Thursday, and also my sister, I might have told this story before, but my sister, Colleen, who is very supportive of me, but also is like real about it. She would have told me like, that fucking sucked.
Yeah.
She's had told me that before.
Yes.
Pauly Shore was like drunk or something. Like he was totally like, he only did 30 minutes.
Headlining?
And he was headlining or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was just whatever. But so like the next day, and the woman who runs the club was so cute. She calls me and she's like, again, I don't know what happened, but he doesn't want you to come back. And I feel so bad, but like, that means both weekends. And she's like, my ex-husband was an O'Leary and I always love O'Leary. So I really wanted this to work out that you could come to Florida all the time. I know it was like so devastating. I called Rebecca Trent, who owns the creek. I call her. I'm in the closet because I don't want to tell my parents because I'm like so embarrassed that I'm supposed to be with them for 2 weeks, but I'm supposed to be working. And I call her and she's with James Adomian, and who's another great comic. And I'm like, Rebecca, Pauly Shore fired me. And right away, I didn't know I was on speaker, but obviously Rebecca didn't realize I was calling for that.
Yeah.
And James Adomian starts laughing, goes, Peggy, you'll never say anything funnier than that sentence ever again. Like, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And I'm crying. He's like, I get it, you're crying, girl. I'm like, no, this is so embarrassing. I have to tell my parents. He's like, Pauly Shore, you had to bring a drink up. I had to physically bring a drink up and be like, this is the Biodome margarita. You should have it. He's like
after your set? Like,
no, before my set.
That's horrible.
I walked up with a fucking margarita.
Oh.
So like James is like, Peg, you got fired, sure, but you also got fired from like nothing. No one will remember your name because you were the Biodome girl. And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
It still sucked.
That sucks. I mean, it sucks to be fired by a gay retarded guy.
I mean, I won't say it like that. But
No,
yes.
I don't know him.
I would say it.
But,
It's hard to get fired by Mitzi Shore's son. That's where I go. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He is the Comedy Store in a way. And now I'll never work there.
Yeah.
But then somebody
But,
else
I
told me
mean,
that
it's
he
like-
will not remember my name. There's no way.
No.
There's no way he remembers my name. There's no way it matters.
I don't think you have to worry about that at all.
No, it was also like 2015. So like that was literally 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's where I peaked. So that's why it's all been downhill.
This business is fucking hard, baby. I'm trying to just figure out what I want to do. I'm gonna try and write more and do more stand up because like DuRag is doing more shows. And like I don't want to be the guy from DuRag that sucks.
That is tough.
Like on Reddit, everyone's like, Naeem and Drew killed it, but like Rob, like
Do they
he's
talk
nice.
about it? But I
was
feel
nice
like you
afterwards.
crush it on the pod
Thank you.
and they
They don't. No.
no. I'm saying it like whenever you're like a fun banter person, right? We've
Yeah.
talked about this before. So it's like with them, they are just more seasoned stand-ups. But to the
For sure.
the Reddit's not saying it like for the pod, they're saying for the live shows.
Yeah. No, and they haven't said that.
Oh,
But like that's like a fear. Like that's what's like propelling me to like
don't
work on it.
manifest that into the world. What
No,
the
no.
fuck?
And it has been fine. It
Also,
has been
Rob,
fine.
you fucking made it to the finals of Philly's Funniest.
Yes,
You
yes,
have
yes,
one of my
yes.
favorite jokes of all. I actually say the Applebee's joke
Oh, thanks.
all the time. Like
Yeah.
I say it all the time. You want to say it?
No,
No.
man, I couldn't. I couldn't. The
Come on. Well, here's the fun thing about no, Neil, say it. What are you
This is
gonna
such
say?
an ant podcast. It's like, do your little skit. Do the skit for us. Come on.
Fuck it.
Very
It's-
anti.
I'm leading into
Very
the thing.
auntie.
I'm gonna be everyone's manager and their aunt for the rest of my life. Because obviously I'm not gonna get pregnant because I'm
your eggs are kicked.
yeah.
That's okay.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
Did you say that realistic?
What? I don't know.
No, they're not. I'm
That-
joking.
No, I'm sure they're beautiful.
They're great.
Yeah.
No, I can still get pregnant.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, currently I'm not, obviously.
Yeah. But hey, I mean that could be baby fuel. They're gonna come out so confident.
How do you think I came out? My mom was definitely my mom's advice, or what she would say is like, I get it, you're not supposed to drink when you're pregnant. But like back in the day, I'm like, Mom, I was born in 86. That wasn't a back in the day situation. She's like, you just weren't a fall down drunk. I was like, Mom, seen you my whole life. Drink. Never seen you fall down. So, you could be a functioning alcoholic. Like, you just don't make it, like, don't be gross about it.
Yeah, be
Basically.
cool.
She also, though, said, like, of course I didn't put sunscreen on you guys. We didn't know about that. I'm like, yeah, for the first half of the kids, because that was the 70s.
Yeah.
Once it came to the 80s,
Are you first
everybody
half or
knew.
second half?
I'm second. I'm the baby. I'm 86.
Oh, okay.
So my oldest sister is 13 years older than me.
Whoa.
And then my niece, my sister Megan.
70s baby.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. 72, 73, 75, 77, 80, 82, and then I'm 86.
Right.
Whoa.
So it's
Like,
not that far apart,
Damn, you
but
have a
in
sister
their
that was
work,
born like a little over a decade once like black people got rights.
100%.
That's crazy.
I talked to my mom about it because she was born in 1950. I'm like, did you march? She was like, I was getting married. I'm like, what? And like,
I was doing a civil union,
Yeah.
not civil rights.
no, my dad was in Vietnam.
Whoa.
My dad and I are 40 years apart. I have a joke about it that I don't do a lot, which I will do more because I think it's so funny. He signed up, right? He signs up for the
He
Vietnam
wasn't
War.
even drafted. He signed
He
up.
wasn't drafted. He signed up because he
Based.
was like wanted to be like a good old boy
Yeah.
in the way we used to think of it, not in like March on this January 6th, good old boy.
Yeah. Not a
um,
proud boy. Good
yeah,
old
yeah,
boy.
yeah, not a problem. Oh yeah, that's probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, my dad, and then they found out that he had worked in a funeral home, and that he was like, because my So our funeral home, my dad's funeral home that
He was already working
started.
at the funeral home when he signed up.
Yes.
I
Because
mean,
my grandfather.
What a business opportunity.
Wait,
Business was probably booming.
no, but
So he was the richest he ever was. And then he signed up to go to the army. That's nuts.
no. So my grandfather was raised like same as me on the top of a funeral home in Southwest Philly.
Yeah.
So my dad worked there, and then when he signed up for Vietnam, they were like, "Oh, you have medical, like you have some sort of knowledge of the body or whatever it is, so you should be a medic." So he like, the joke is like he signed up and then got to be a male nurse, and like literally we have a literal postcard. It's not this is what I say in the joke, but like a postcard to my grandmom that's like, "Had a great day, sunbathed all day." And oh my God, he sunbathed on a battleship. That's crazy.
In
Vietnam. But he was stationed in the Philippines.
Okay,
and then you had to touch down in Vietnam for 24 hours, and he was the medic.
Gotcha.
And that's what actually was. Like, if you were not like a military in the beginning, a lot of the first guys were medics, and he got in on the ground floor, which sounds terrible. But yes,
But
that's how old my dad
veteran
is.
Perks.
Yes.
Sweet.
So only in certain states. So one time, very funny, my dad's like, "If I die," I don't know what state it was, like Delaware or whatever state. It's like, "If I die there, you move my body and then you tell them." And we're like, "Yeah, we're not going to commit a crime for you, Dad." He's like, "I'll call somebody. He'll know." I'm like, "You'll be dead." What are we talking about now?
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I was thinking of like funeral
Yeah,
homes.
your parents are probably my siblings' age.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. Right?
Well, my parents are like in their late 60s.
All right. No, so like 10 years
yeah.
older.
Yeah. But still.
I
was wondering like what's like the funeral home scene in Philly is like popping, right?
So
like, I feel like I see so many funeral homes.
There's so many
Philly, and if you want to start one, go to Philly. Because like in
I
the
think
suburbs,
it's the opposite.
Oh, good. What I thought was like in the suburbs, it's like they're so well established that it's like good luck. It's like, Mom, Dad, I'm trying to make it. I'm going to the city.
No, opposite.
Okay.
Because the city funeral homes, a lot of them also, the ones that you're seeing, like if you go to Broad Street, so like my sister bought a funeral home, Leonetti O'Leary was on Broad Street for a long time. And she was actually like an article in the Inquirer because it was like the first Broad on Broad.
Yeah.
Because they call it like there's a whole section where it's just like row home after row home of all just funeral homes. But a lot of them then moved it to Jersey or moved it like to the suburbs. So it's actually harder in Philly because it's like where I'm from, there's 2 funeral homes that are like in a mile radius of us. So like that's how funeral homes work. It's like a bar. You're like, "Oh, that one's in the neighborhood. We go there." It's like, "Oh, I've seen O'Leary funeral home. I go there," unless you know the person or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas if you lived in South Philly and you had no connection to them and you're not Italian or Irish, you're just like, "I don't know. I guess I'm going to call whoever has."
Yeah.
That's why I think it's
like,
harder.
do you guys think about marketing? Or is the marketing like, let's invest in a sweet sign? I feel like 90% of the marketing is like people drove past it and they remembered that that's a funeral home. That's how I would do it.
I think is probably true. So my dad is anti. So the funeral home that my parents owned did not have a website until I started working there in 2018.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
2018. And I had to convince them.
Do you guys like make like posts? Do you have like a content strategy?
No, I had to convince them that we should have a website.
Yeah.
And I still I'm like, please.
With like a contact form.
Well, also to get an obituary online, you have to use a newspaper, and that costs money. A lot of money. Like $400, $500. So I was like, if we had a website, we could at least do this for free for people, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying this like it's just my family literally is from the 1900s funeral home people. Like
Yeah.
my brother.
Back when people just died.
Back where you're just like, it's like, we just roll them in a grave.
Yes.
There's nothing else. No, but like my brother, who was only 4 years older than me, was like, okay, for instance, my sister Katie goes, I still think emails are a fad. It's a phase. It's a fad.
Yeah.
Like like the first time someone goes, we found you through your website, they came to me like, Peggy, we thought you were crazy. Because they're just old school in a good way. Like I love that about them. Like that we're neighborhood people. Like we take care of our own. We love people, like all that kind of stuff. So when I was like, okay, but think about it, like my generation and actually your guys' generation likes Uber.
Yeah.
We like food delivered to us. We don't want to talk on the phone. Like my friends in college, I had to be the person who talked on the phone because none of them, I used to like, that was like one of my first jokes is like, I've been asking for a friend my whole life because I always had introvert friends, right?
Yeah.
And so I was always the one that's like, okay, we're going to get this is whatever. Like that's the generation. If you are under 50, you're like, I love websites. I don't have to talk to anyone. We can get beer delivered to us.
Yeah.
So the fact that like, if you don't know anyone or you're just moved to the neighborhood and you just Google, we wouldn't come up. That's how I like explained it to them. I'm like, we have to have something. And now it's great and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But like, I come from like the oldest old school people of all time.
Yeah. That's so nice though. Where they're not like plugged in to the modern shit. Just
no,
like
and so we don't, like
stuff.
you said, we don't do content.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while, I think, we post.
You're not doing like paid ads or anything like that.
God, I would love to see the Instagram reels.
Yeah, the reels would
just
go
selfies
crazy.
with the bob and selfies with the body, like makeup job fucking crushed.
Yeah. No,
it's got to be in vertical aspect ratio.
Like it's just
actually, coffins are perfect for social media aspect ratio.
Yeah, 9:16, baby.
Yeah. Coffins are the first 9:16.
They definitely are.
Whoa.
No, it's a weird, very weird world, and like I think that's why I'm like,
it's so interesting though.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I love that they all still work together and like,
yeah.
But I also love restaurants because I'm like, I still want to talk to people. Like, I don't like content, right? So it's like, I don't want to put my shit online, even though I know I have to. And it's like a part of it. But like, I don't think my jokes are that clever. I'm like really engaged with people. I want to like talk to somebody. And like after the fact, you'd be like, was that good? Was it not good? But in the moment, it felt great.
Yeah.
Which I think you do have. And that's what I think you don't love about stand-up, to go back to that, even though we got to wrap it up. But you are engaging. And I think but you're also like very clever and a musician and like,
thank you.
No, but it's like, because that's the hard part about stand-up is like, not the hard part, but like you actually would be great. But I think after the fact, you would be like, did I do my precision like jokes or whatever?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it doesn't matter because you're fine.
Yeah, I think for the most part it's fine, and like I think like I'm just trying to have more fun doing it.
Yes,
because it is silly bullshit, and it doesn't really matter, which is great. Like no one really cares. Nobody one remembers. In a weird way, it's like a weird form of like narcissism, where you think everyone's like thinking about you.
Well, that's why I hate it.
Where
Neil,
I'm like,
isn't that the hardest part about me? Getting this off the ground is that the whole time I'm like, why would anyone listen to this?
Right.
It's narcissism.
And I have it where I think like everyone like remembers if I had a good set or not.
Yeah.
Like I'll be home and be like, everyone's going to say that Rob had a bad set. And it's like, no one gives a shit. No one could possibly give a shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Except for the booker or the owner of an establishment.
Yeah.
Besides that, no way.
Yeah, for sure. And the now what helps, we were saying before, I don't want to get too into it, but I am in Jersey now.
Yeah.
And that it is nice being there. That does, like, when I was living in Philly, there was like something about where I felt like I was still in it after I bombed. Where like
Right.
when I go home, when I moved back to Jersey last week, I felt like someone put me back in my game.
Yes.
Where have you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Of course. It's
Being
the
in
only
Philly, I
cartoon.
felt like
It's
I went through
one
like the
of-
power strip and I was in like Call of Duty for like a few years. I'm like, thank God I'm back in Pac-Man.
Which, you know what's funny about that is I actually think I have the opposite thing because I started in New York
Yeah.
and I loved being on the subway. Not loved it, but like being on the subway to work or to, like, you could think about it. And like if I had like a bomb, I could like sit in it and then you see the world and you're like, all right, Peg. It's like nobody cares. Like,
Yeah.
you're okay. You can pay your bills. Whereas like now that I drive a car and like I take the train to work, but not a lot of times coming home, especially after a show, because it's like it's a regional rail, so it stops at like 10, and you're like, oh cool, people don't work past 10. Good,
Yeah.
thank you. Fuck you, SEPTA. I'm gonna say that right here.
Yeah, they could kick rocks. I don't give a fuck about something.
But I'll be in my car and it actually makes me crazier. And like now I'm getting like so many like gigs where I'm driving far and then I'm driving home and it's like I'm in my car just being like, you are a worthless piece of shit.
Yeah.
Those people just paid you and you did nothing. You were the worst. Like it's like worse because you're just alone with your thoughts. Again, why you got to bring people on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like I drove back from Delaware and I had a fun time and I got paid way more than I thought I was getting paid. And then I was like the whole way home. And it's such me, like, I'm not worth it mentality. That the whole way home, I was like, I thought I was making this amount of money and I made like double that. You didn't give the quality of the show, which is not true.
Yeah.
But like once they paid me, I was like, also, I should start writing down what people are paying me. Can't believe I came here for what I thought was like $50.
Yeah.
Chance, that's good about Chance. Chance will say that to me all the time. He's like, can you just write it down somewhere?
Yeah.
Because then I'll be able to evaluate like, nah, dog, you can't go to middle of PA for $50. But I have thought I'm going to middle of PA for $50 and then I come home, I'm like, I made $600. He's like, thank God. What'd you think you were gonna make? I'm like, 50. He's like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's hard to believe that like anyone would like pay you to do it. Where like we shouldn't make money doing this. I mean, we should, I guess. It's so dumb.
Wait, we cannot end with you saying we should. We should make.
we should make millions.
I am just so used to doing it in New York and LA at bars where like you only got 2 drinks. So like I get it why younger comics like you and Chance are like, you would actually take a gig for $100 to go 4 hours. And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? And they're and you're like, what? So I'm saying no.
I mean, I would do that because like there is like a thing of like you're like almost like investing in a business,
right?
Like that's marketing. You're like spending on marketing.
See, already there, you have a better mentality than I do. I'm saying I am just glad people want to hear me talk, and then they get to give me money. It's crazy. And then if they like hand me $600, I'm like, to like research the town better. Like I like think I didn't do well.
Yeah.
Even though I fucking crushed it probably.
Yeah.
Because like everyone loves to hear about blowjobs.
It's universal. It's evergreen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get goofy on that dick.
Yeah. I love that shit.
I know I said that.
Yeah. I mean, it is a weird feeling because it's starting to make a little money at it. That not like super livable yet, but it is like
all right, don't even start talking to me about it. If you are gonna make a living at doing comedy, I will murder you on this podcast. Fuck you and the fucking Chrysler you pulled in on.
Please, the Camry.
No, it is nice. It is nice to make money at it.
Yeah, because I really don't need too much. I think I just need like a bed
Yeah.
and like to not be like super hungry.
Yeah.
I could be like mildly hungry.
Yeah. I have a lot of fat in my body that could be eaten up.
Yeah, me too. My mom and my sister are trying to get me on Ozempic.
Stop it.
Yeah. My mom, like she's like my
By the
biggest
way-
supporter, but like she also will be like, yo, you're fat, and like, can the podcast be funnier?
She listens to it?
She listens to the podcast, which
Oh
I
my
hate.
God. Okay.
Because I'm talking about like crazy stuff.
I do.
Like
I
I'm talking
know.
about like I got like a hand job at a massage place, and I'm like talking
I've
about
heard
that.
about it.
Yeah. And
I've heard about your threesome.
yeah, and the threesome, I'm like talking about that, and she'll ask me if that's real, and I tell her it's fake. But like between you and me, that's real.
Of course it's real.
I'm saying real stuff.
That's why it's so much better to be a boy in comedy.
Yeah. Because
your
like you
mom
don't want your
won't be
dad listening,
like-
be like, yo, I got this shit ate.
No, my dad doesn't care. Literally, after I did my album, he was crying because he was like so proud of me. And he goes, I've never hated the P word. I just don't like that you say fuck so much. And I'm like, did you just literally say to me, I don't hate that you say pussy. Just please stop saying fuck in public. I'm like, hell yeah, Dad. But my
Yeah.
mom would be like, why do you think of those things? I'm like, I don't know. Because it makes people laugh.
Yeah.
All right, but we
Okay.
do have to end it. But
Yes,
go
yes,
say,
yes,
wait,
yes.
say it. What do we say?
No. Please.
Say it.
It's truly okay. We don't have like a hard out.
Yeah,
No, I know.
I'm
Okay.
chilling. Yeah,
Yeah.
as much
Cool.
as you guys want to do. I'm
Nice.
chilling. But yeah, I love you.
I love you more.
Yes.
So we definitely met doing the podcast.
I think so. Yeah.
And then when you moved into the city with your sister,
Yeah.
shout out Hottie McBody. I don't know. I didn't want to say that after I started saying it. 'Cause I'm like, I don't want to like objectify her, but she is super cute.
You made it
Like-
pretty Irish too.
Yeah.
That's one of them McBodies.
Yeah.
Mick is Irish, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Phew.
Well, but then Mac is Scottish. Chance is Scottish.
Ew.
All right. So I said bodyguard. You said monkey bone. Let's do for an album, not a song,
Mm.
an album from childhood that you would tell people to listen to for this, that, and whatever. Like,
Yes.
I'll give the example of what I said was when my nieces turned 13, they were like 13, 12, 12, and 11. I gave them all the Lauryn Hill CD. By the way, I'm the worst. I never give gifts to my niece. There's too many.
Yeah.
But that one year, I think I was making a lot of money at like a fine dine restaurant. So, and I was actually going to go home for Christmas. So I gave them all the Lauryn Hill CD and was like, you won't love it now. Oh, and the Patsy Cline CD. And I
Ooh.
go, one day you'll go through a breakup and these two albums will be good. What would your album? Neil, can you also do it? It doesn't have to be a breakup or whatever, but it's like the album that got you through something. Like, so Lauryn Hill, I still play it. Like, oof.
I mean, I don't know if it helped, but
If you say Hoobastank, I
no.
will be
I
so
was
mad
gonna
at
say
you.
just like what I really did would have been, I guess Eminem's first album.
Marshall Mathers
Yeah,
LP.
I mean, it was formative, but I would like, as a kid, I guess I was talking to a kid of the same age range. I would like preface it as like, hey, this is going to open up your world kind of in a
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
in a crazy way that it's not real. It's real somewhat, but it's not real. It's take it as a story, you know,
Yeah.
don't really like get all the way invested. But
When you were a kid, were you kind of like wig?
I was, so I guess I grew up in like a mixed neighborhood. So I kind of, since I moved every 4 years, it was a little bit of everything, but I was probably more, like goth punk and stuff like that.
nice.
But I did live around that. So I kind of jumped
Yeah.
when you're figuring yourself out, you know what I mean? You're like 11 or 12, you know, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, guys. I got Janko jeans and I got,
Yeah.
I got pink hair. Who knows what we're going to do?
Right. Yeah. Like it was like goth. And then maybe like wig was like
Wig was,
section C bullet
Right.
point 1.
yeah, Wig was
under it.
probably first, I think. Yeah, because I grew up in like more Black Hispanic neighborhoods in Vineland, and then by the time I got to Buna, it was more skater punk and then goth.
Yeah.
Kind of like escalation that way. But I like the album of just being like, because Eminem's I think a good example of just like, dude, you do whatever, be whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he made up some of it, he's laughing at people from treating it, and it's all really hyper violent though.
Yeah.
So that's the preface I would give. But
I listen
that'd
to
be
Kim
mine.
to go to sleep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my white
Kim?
noise.
Yeah.
Little Kim? Oh, him.
The song Kim.
Oh, the song.
Have you heard Kim by Eminem?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Spicy.
Very spicy.
All right, so what's yours? You're the musician in the room.
Ooh. An album that got me through something.
Or like anything that you would like, an album that you would go, listen to this album. Because I think that we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
People
would
don't
say,
make like concept albums or the whole thing is a whole thing.
Yeah. I would say like a most formative album that made me like play guitar was Van Halen's 1984. I think it's 1984. Yeah. The like Eddie Van Halen is just like he like changed guitar playing, and like when I heard him for the first time, I was like, this is alien shit, which is sick. And then I always loved Ed Sheeran. His first album Plus was so good. And
the first album was called Plus.
Well, it's so funny because like for some reason, like all his albums are like math themed.
Oh,
where
really?
like the next one, I forget. The next one was Multiply.
Okay.
And then there's like
so you have Van Halen.
Subtract was one where it's like all
Yes.
stripped down.
Yeah. So Van Halen, Ed Sheeran.
And John Mayer.
Oh, you are a John Mayer guy.
Huge John Mayer guy.
Which album?
The first one.
Or song?
The one Continuum, I think is the that's it has like Gravity on it. Which Gravity is working against me. Yeah.
No, I don't know this song at all.
Yeah, is it 1984? Am I tripping?
Is this of course they've got like a ton of for releases. Why did I go to their wiki?
Is it based off of the book 1984?
It could be, or that could just be the year.
Do you think the name of the song is 1984 or
the
the
album?
album.
Yeah, I went through like my
Yeah,
dad's CD collection, and I saw the baby angel smoking his pack of cigarettes. And I was like, that's cool as hell.
Oh shit, I'm a little.
Yeah, Hot for Teachers on there.
Oh, okay, fuck yeah. Wait, so there was a teacher,
Jump.
and this is the thing that I'll end with. That is all right. I'm gonna listen to that whole album,
It's
and also
righteous.
that's the other thing I think we're missing in this day and age. You're supposed to listen to an album in the order that the artist wanted it. With Spotify and Apple Music, it's like they rotate everything, and then you're like, but no, it doesn't have the same structure.
Yes.
Like you can't listen to the Beyonce, not Beyonce, sorry, it was Destiny Child. What
well, like the I don't
it
know
was Bootylicious was on it. Say My Name. They had at the end, thou shalt not be bootylicious. So on the end of the song before the song, they had like Survivor.
It was on the album Survivor.
Yeah. So at the end of the song, and of course on the radio, they would have the next song's like
Intro.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino brought this back as a very cool concept for his last one, which I really liked. That's awesome that they did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's pretty tight.
What's up?
Yeah, no, that's super tight. Wait, what for his new album?
I think his last. He may have released another one, but it was they're all numbers and sequence, and it's just playing with the concept of one bleeding into the next.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would pick the end of the song. I didn't realize
like a continuous.
Yeah, it's a continuous album. So you have to. It's much better in order.
Yeah.
And there used to even be with like old, diss tracks, mistapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They always had those weird interstitials and like those weird stuff, just like guys talking, right?
Yeah.
Just like
the
little skits.
90s were really big in the like
Because of the CD culture.
Yes.
Like the soft voice of like a man being like telling you what you're supposed to do.
Yes,
And you're like,
yes.
okay, yeah, tell me, daddy. Whatever. Okay, so Van Halen.
The 1975 fucking rips. I think
So
it's
you're
their self-titled.
anti-Taylor? Is that what you're saying?
So
We
I
really
just
do have to
watched-
wrap up, but hilarious. Let's
I
go.
just watched the HBO doc with the battle between her and Scooter Braun.
I didn't watch it yet. Is it good?
Yeah, it is good, but they have like 2 episodes for it. One is Taylor's side of it, and then one is Scooter Braun's side.
Wow.
Where she was trying to get out of, or she was trying to buy all of her masters back, but then Scooter Braun, who she hates,
Yeah.
like bought all of her music,
Yes.
and it was like a huge battle.
That's why she's
But-
doing the Taylor versions.
Yes, and then I'm kind of on Scooter's side a little bit. I love this.
He
was allowed to do it. I don't think it was like the coolest move to do,
Yeah.
but I think Taylor a little bit like made it a worse thing than it should have. I think. But
Well,
I'm not anti-Swiftie. I think her songs rule.
yeah.
I think she's good,
Yeah.
but I think she played
I
Vicky
think
just
that-
a tad.
I would say what she did was fuck you to the music industry.
Yes.
So it sucks
Which
that
I respect.
it sucks that he was the scapegoat, but it's like I was just watching some other documentary about Motown. It's like music industry has been fucking like children
Yeah.
over and over and over again, like physically and
Like putting their
financially.
penises in their butts.
Yes. And financially though. So
Yeah.
it's like I think that she was able to had enough money to be like, you know what? She even with her movie, her and Beyonce did the same thing. They released it on their own. They didn't
Yeah.
use a middleman. They didn't go, hey, let's go to Paramount or whatever. They went straight to AMC movie theaters and was like, want to put a movie out? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that I like.
Yeah. And I respect the move of just being like, I'm gonna re-record these.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I wish I could
and also
re-record.
I would feel worse if like financially she was down and out.
Yeah.
But she's like so rich.
She's so rich.
So I feel like it's like I understand you want like control over your shit, but she still has the publishing. So she's still getting money for those songs. Like the publishing is like the lack of a better word, like royalties you get from like writing it.
Right.
But like she doesn't own the actual recording of it,
Right.
is
Yeah.
my understanding. Yeah.
yeah, master.
Which is like big whoop, I guess. I mean, you're is she a billionaire or something like that?
She's probably close.
Yeah,
at
like
this point. Yeah.
close to it. So it is like just a hair of like boo-hoo a little bit.
Yeah, you hope that she's. Why do you think? I'm sorry, God, thing.
No, go.
I was wondering. Yeah, I mean, you hope that someone of her status is doing it so that younger artists.
That's why I
do-
think she's
yeah, I someone's got to be
Setting an
like,
example,
stop
yeah.
doing this. Make it some legal action maybe taking place because I have the ability to change things. I
Right.
think.
And I don't want to say that artists aren't getting fucked because they absolutely
Of
are.
course, Spotify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spotify
All of it is fucked.
and like labels with
All
like
of my
the
friends that
360
are
deals or like
comedy
crazy.
writers, can't get jobs. Now they're like, I'm making more money waiting tables than some friends of mine that have been like a consistent gig writer, right? So it's
Yeah.
like we're all getting fucked.
And it's crazy with streaming now where like there's no like syndication, right?
No, I don't know actually. That I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Syndications is I wouldn't know enough about.
I have a friend
Where
that
it's like there's like a certain threshold where it goes into like syndication and then that's where
Yeah.
like the real money
For something
happens.
like music on Spotify, do you mean?
Or for like TV writers
TV
or like
writers.
Oh yeah.
like
So that's
shows.
always like 100 episodes. If they may have changed it though.
Yeah.
But it's usually 100 episodes of any sequential kind of thing, and then it's considered.
yeah and like back then like people bought way more episodes.
Right.
And,
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and like it used to be like 20 something episodes, maybe more.
yeah,
Like,
no,
now it's
28. It used to be
28.
a season was 28.
Yeah. And now it's like 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I mean now, and also it's probably better. Like that was a British model, right? This is like all of Ricky Gervais's shows are like 10 episode seasons because he was like, that's all you need or whatever. And America, obviously capitalism. But now we're doing streaming, so it's like it's different because it's like, are they making money? Do they have the money?
Yeah.
It's like Apple TV is making amazing fucking shows, but I always say it like, yeah, because Apple is funding it, right? Like I could make an amazing film. Not, I mean, I hope I could, but like if someone was like, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million, write this movie, produce it," I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" That's what Apple TV is. Apple TV is Apple. Their pet project is Apple TV, and they get Reese Witherspoon, like they get all these people. It's like, it doesn't mean they're making money. Who's actually now? It's a part of Disney. It's like, well, Disney's, what are they making money off of? Everything. They're making money off of a song.
I mean, for the end of time.
Yeah, for the
based on IP rights, like based on their
the IP goes crazy. The
Amazon's
toys,
pretty nuts. The fact that they're serving us up ads now, like they had all the movie. Like if you're watching Amazon Video, they didn't care when they started Amazon.
I
Video.
paid for The Bodyguard today.
No shit.
Last night, I paid for The Bodyguard.
Damn. But that came out in
92.
So, are we talking $3.99 for HD?
Yeah, but I just rented it. I had to pay like more if I wanted to buy it. And the whole time I kept going, I should have bought it.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch this.
Yeah.
But like there are movies, right? You can't find. Everyone says that. Like you can find everything. I'm like, no. Shag, I'll say right here. Not that anyone's listening still, but Shag, greatest movie of it's my Almost Famous, Shag, and Mystic Pizza shaped my life. And Shag, you cannot find anywhere. If you play the trailer, I will love you for the rest of my life.
I mean, it won't. We can play it wherever, but we can't pop it up. Yeah, it'll just get pulled. I think I know this movie.
It is about 4 girls who are supposed to go to Fort Sumter
Sumter,
whatever, for a bachelorette, and instead they go to Myrtle Beach. And they find themselves, and it's the greatest. And they shag.
I love when the Bay is self-actualized. I love when the Bays hit the top of the pyramid of the hierarchy and needs.
Coming of age movies are the greatest of all time. There's nothing better than just someone who's like, you know what? I didn't need to get married. I needed to enjoy myself.
You know what? You showed me a really good movie. Palm Springs. Yes.
That is the movie.
Is that coming of age or no? I mean, it's not.
It's like a mix of coming of age.
It's a bit of hero's journey for sure.
Hero's journey, I think, but it's also a modern version of like Back to the Future / Groundhog's Day. Like it's like there's something so amazing about it. Oh, Palm Springs,
it's like indie rom-com kind of vibe.
Yes. That is like the movie that Chance and I fell in love. Like
it was a lot of fun. I remember watching that.
Yeah. Really good.
We fell in love. We watched it separately. Then we've watched it probably together 1,000 times because my favorite scene is when he's doing the first time she sees him. And he's doing the dance and he's like picking the drink up. He like catches somebody. I'm like, that is my actual dream. Like, if I went outside and there was like a dance sequence where people were like doing stuff that shouldn't be happening, I would probably like, my brain would explode. Like, I'd have an aneurysm because I'd love it so much.
Yeah.
So like the whole movie is my favorite thing in the world.
It's so good. And it kind of reminded me of a movie that I really like. Because I love like that fucking like indie rom-com vibe, which is have you ever seen Wrist Cutters: A Love Story?
No. Can't wait to watch it.
Peggy, get on it. It's so good. It's very sappy, but it's like so what the movie is about.
I love sappy.
Is this guy like his fiance or something like that? That they break up and the movie opens up with him cleaning his apartment and then he slits his wrist and he kills himself. And then when you kill yourself, you just go to a place that's a little worse than the real world. So he just goes to a place where it's like a purgatory where he has like.
Is it actually Tom Waits? Like Tom Waits?
The
Is that how?
I don't know. Yeah, you can't smile in that world. That's why they're like pushing their mouths up.
Oh my god.
And he gets like a pizza job there, and he gets like
I
an
love that
apartment.
actress too, Shoshana.
And then yeah, she's great. And then that guy on the right, I don't know what his
I
actual name
recognize
is,
that guy's face. I cannot think of that. I'll pull it up.
but he lives with his whole family there because his whole family killed themselves. Like this is just like a world where people who committed suicide live. And then this guy is going to get cottage cheese at a corner store, and
Second guy in looks like hot
Right.
Drew Montana. What the fuck?
Yep.
This guy looks like
Patrick.
this is what
100%.
Drew Montana would look like if he cared about himself.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Definitely. But yeah,
but
Shia
when he's getting
Wiggum you're
cottage
talking about, right?
cheese, he like sees someone he knew from his old life, and he said like, your fiance killed herself, and she's somewhere in this world. So the whole movie is him looking for her,
Oh wow.
and it's so good. It's such a good movie.
I gotta watch it.
Very, very sappy.
Now I feel like
indie
I have to
rom-com.
watch it. You have to get that old apartment back. We gotta watch it there.
Yeah.
Because we watched Palm Springs because I was crying about something
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve. We watched Palm Springs and drank a bottle of Jameson, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. We got hammered. But yeah, that was so nice. I mean, it wasn't nice, but it was.
But that's again, that's how I feel. Like most of my connections in the world, that's what I think this podcast is. It's like, it's now nice. We're gonna talk about shitty shit, but in the end, we're like, wow, it felt good and cathartic to just let it out and be
Yes.
like, whoops, life sucks.
Yeah.
You might get too drunk.
You might
Tell
get
your
too
Aunt
drunk.
Peggy. You
Shit
know,
happens, but
Shit happens.
we out here, and it's just friendship.
it's his friendship.
It's weaponized friendship.
Because if we release this and we accidentally said something wrong, you could lose a job, and I could too.
Yeah.
Is that weaponized friendship? What do you mean by weaponized friendship?
We're taking friendship and the safety's off, and we're pointing it at people's heads.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're putting the gun of friendship in their mouth. And we're like, fucking take it, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I love that metaphor for you. I don't know for me. I'm like, I didn't make gluten-free cookies for somebody, and I'm like, just eat it. It's gonna be good. That's my version. But maybe I'm putting a gun to people's head and being like, fucking tell the truth, bitch.
Yeah. I think if anything, you're doing it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
It's an invisible friend gun. That someone who's driving to work is like, maybe I will friendship off myself right now. Maybe I'll blow my friend brains out.
Rob, you could you could definitely where should we because I know we'll wrap it up. Where should we follow you?
On Instagram, I'm at the Attention Horse. And then just check out my podcast, DuRag and the Deertag. Drew Montana has been a guest.
Yeah. Naeem
he's,
should be
my
coming
co-host.
soon.
Yeah, Naeem will be on. And check out patreon.com/DuRag and the Deertag. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I love everybody. I love you, Neil. Thank you for
Very welcome.
letting me do this.
Of course.
Robert, you're such
Jesus.
a beautiful man. I'm Peggy. Goodbye.
Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at drop10.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcasts, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it. Again, we're 100% DIY, just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this, and give us some feedback. We always enjoy a little feedback. Thanks.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.